What's up, freaks? Steve Eckert here, and this is a 12-month, actually it's now 14 months. It's 12 to 14 month progress of complete tear of the distal bicep. I almost pointed at this arm. I forget which arm it is. That's what we're going to get into that in this video. But 12 months, 14 months, the 1 year update, progress update of complete tear of the bicep, recovery without surgery. I'm going to go through tons of questions here. I have things asking about jujitsu and boxing and just everyday exercises and what I'm still able to do and punching and regrets. And I've done videos at the 3-month mark, 6-month mark, at about 10 months. And now it's the 12 to 14 months. So it's pretty much at the long-term permanent state there of the arm, of the bicep recovery. We're going to go over the lessons learned, why I chose no surgery. And a lot of this stuff is in the earlier videos. We're going to really go fast forward up to this point, really based off just the questions that a lot of you asked on my YouTube. I get YouTube, it's crazy. Almost every day there's someone commenting on a YouTube video, and sometimes even on Instagram. They'll kind of follow me over there and follow the progress there. So this is more than just an injury update. This is really just about discipline and resilience and refusing to make excuses and refusing to give up, refusing to just settle, and making a decision and holding the line and going all in on that decision and making it happen. So put any questions, comments down below. I'm pretty much going to go right off this list. I categorize all these questions into categories. So the first category we're going to go over is just recovery experience and timeline, just the overall recovery experience. And the first question is, what does it feel like a year later compared to 3, 6, and 12 months? Really, the feeling right now physically is about probably the same as it's been since, I don't even know, 5, 6 months. Maybe 8 months. By the time we get to 12, 14 months, it's about the same. It's really the same. It's just physically. Mentally, it probably took even longer to realize about what I'm able to do, how much I'm able to push. There's questions about any lingering limitations, strength, range of motion, endurance, grip strength, supination, all that stuff about your supination. You're not gonna be able to do this, movements with your wrist and stuff and forearms. To me, at least, again, this is all my experience. To me, that is a myth. It's not true. I have zero problems with any motions. I've changed car tires. I throw punches. We're going to get into the boxing here in a second. There's questions about unexpected progress, where you're stronger or more functional than you thought. And I just talked about punching. It's crazy. When I punch now, an extended right-handed punch, it actually connects. I feel it connects stronger. Uppercut is about the same, sometimes because maybe the bicep's a little more included in the uppercut because it's bent, but a straight punch where the bicep is really not doing much on the speed and power, I'm landing my punches so much harder and stronger. I almost think it's crazy. Like if you saw Happy Gilmore #2, there was a golf team that did some scam. They removed some tendon or like tightened up some tendon or something in their arm or their shoulder or their chest to make them twist and hit the ball a lot further. It's almost what it's like. My right arm is stronger, not only stronger than the left arm, the uninjured arm, it's stronger than it used to be on punching. It's almost like that tendon, as you get older, was restricting it. Like when I go with punches on the left side, I feel tightness in there. You feel things restricted. It's almost like by that disconnecting, it made my punching power stronger. It's crazy. My son's like, hey, so why don't you just go and just rip the other one and you'll have a mean left hook, but let's not go crazy. But it's crazy how that worked out. Like I literally feel so much. It's almost like because the tension was released when it snapped. And as we're getting older and training so much, it was almost holding me back. It sounds nuts, but the punches at least feel stronger. Maybe it doesn't look the same. I mean, there's the left side, there's the right side. You could just see this gap in here, but whoa, almost dropped my tablet here. You can see that it's able to be solid now. This is solid. It used to not be solid. It used to be when I squeezed it, it would just be like this jiggly thing. Like even when I loosen it up, it's I don't know if it's scar tissue attaching to the bone or some shit like that. But I'm able to squeeze it. I'm able to flex it, which I didn't think I was really ever gonna. I mean, I did. I believed in my head I was gonna be able to, but it felt like for so long it was just jiggly. And certain exercises, I'll do like a bent over row. The thing just disappears in there. But the tricep, not affected. The forearm actually feels stronger. I've had less elbow pain in the injured arm than I've had in years. It's nuts. It's almost like that tight tendon was causing so many other things. And it's almost now I could just punch as hard as I want. I don't have to worry about ripping it because it's already torn and it wasn't reattached. I don't have to worry about re-ripping it or anything and going through all that again. So that's the recovery and timeline. Daily activities, and you can now do without even thinking about it. And I haven't missed a single workout or event. I do tons of events, in-person events where I'm running the physical fitness part, I'm speaking, it's active. I run at least one event a month, sometimes 2-3 events in a month, sometimes traveling. I haven't missed a single event. And really my business and the coaching programs I do, it all leads to these big events, and also big events lead to more business. So these are major things in my business that I need to have and can't miss out on. So I haven't missed a single event, haven't missed a single day of training. I've trained every single day. I haven't missed a single day of training in years before this either. I'm talking 7 days a week training, even with this injury. And I have all kinds of other things from jujitsu and boxing and injuries and spine and compressed discs and all this other shit that I'm working on and working around and dealing with. Another question was on any ongoing pain, soreness, or weirdness in the arm. Now, the injured side, it gets sore and it gets stiff sometimes, but to me, that's a good thing because it used to not get sore. So now it gets sore and fatigued. I'm like, all right, now it's actually working. It used to not. It would just sometimes be a dull pain in the very beginning when I would work through it and work through some rotational exercises and some rehab exercises. But the fact that it gets sore and worn out, to me, is like a good thing. It means it's working, it's growing, it's repairing, it's getting better, it's getting stronger, it's getting more endurance. And sometimes when I overdo it, like I do too much jujitsu or too much rolling or too hard and struggle and use too much strength instead of technique, and maybe even too much boxing, it'll feel like a little extra soreness, but nothing overboard. The funny thing is, this side, the uninjured side, will feel more sore, and I'm more stressed about this side than the injured side, because the injured side, I can't rip what's already been ripped, can't tear what's been torn. So strength and training. People ask about the comparison of pre-injury strength to now. Now, as I'm getting older, I'm damn near 50 years old. I'll be 48 in a couple of months. I try to stay fit and lean. I don't go super heavy on things anymore. I'll go heavy on like dumbbells. I'll go up to like 100-pound dumbbells or whatever for a chest press, and that's a rare thing. I get up to 75s, I'm good. I'll do 75 or sets of 15, 20 just for some reps, and I'm good. I don't need to go super heavy anymore. Even on deadlifts, I'm doing deadlifts with, I did 225 the other day for like an easy set of 15, and that's, to me, not loss of any strength. I don't need to go much heavier than that anyway. I like to stay fit and athletic. So I don't go super heavy anyway because I don't want to strain something else or the other freaking arm. What lifts you had to adjust or substitute or drop? Really nothing. I don't do monkey bars. I've done monkey bars just to be able to do them, but I don't do them regularly. I don't do much rope climbing. I have done it just to make sure I can do it, but I don't do a ton of it. I'll probably do some rope hangs or rope pull-ups just to strengthen the grip up. But just because a rope climb, not because of this arm, the injured arm is totally fine on that. I'm just thinking I don't want to injure the other arm. So it's like a rope climb when you're moving, even if you're using your legs. I'll use my legs a lot, but your one arm is off for a second. So just one little slip is all it takes. And it's actually where it happened was on a rope. I was doing not just a rope climb, some crazy double arm, double rope, explosive plyometric climbs, but well, that's besides the point. Unilateral training, compensations in opposite arm, shoulder. There's probably a little something to that. Like the other arm maybe for a few months took over the load, and that's why the good bicep actually gets more sore than the bad bicep, and I'll feel it sometimes tightness, and guess what I do? I just slow it down. I just stop. I just don't go crazy. Do it being smart about it. I still train my ass off every freaking day, but I'm keeping it smart. I'm trying to not let the other side tear if possible, even though maybe it'll make me punch harder like we were talking about earlier. Specific exercise that helped most with recovery and stability. Check some of I'm going to put in some exercise and videos here. There's a whole breakdown I did of some of the movements I did with dumbbells, also the burn machine in there. Previous videos, I showed a bunch of little tools I use and grip strengtheners and forearms, but also a huge one that I do, which I used to do anyway, just for grip strength and for actually shoulder stretching and mobility, is bar hangs. Doing bar hangs for 60, 90, 120 seconds for sets before the workout to kind of stretch out the shoulders, after the workout to kind of burn out the grip and forearms. But bar hangs have been freaking awesome. And the burn machine, that machine, I'll show you in the video here. I'll put a clip in about the burn machine. That burn machine's been awesome. It's one of my favorite upper body cardio conditioning tools anyway. It's a weird machine, but I've been using that thing for years. How does it respond to high intensity training, fatigue, endurance? We kind of went over that already. It gets sore. I still haven't missed a day the entire time. Do you still train differently to protect it, or are you back to normal? Again, I'm being careful with the uninjured side, but I am training my ass off. It's totally normal. We're doing circuit trainings. I'm doing full sets of pull-ups, 20 pull-ups and 2-minute bar hangs and fairly heavy farmer's walk. I'm pushing sleds. I'm using battle ropes, punching, sparring, grappling, jiu-jitsu, full speed, full strength. It will get sore sometimes, but it never feels weak or it feels like I'm restricted because of that arm. You realize how little you use that bicep. There's probably certain times where that extra bicep will help you get that last one rep that maybe you would have got stuck on, that maybe it'll eke out the last inch. Or maybe in jiu-jitsu, like, I don't know. I don't even know where the bicep is going to help out. Think about it. Bicep's so small that one little muscle is not going to help me in jiu-jitsu. That's probably going to make me work on technique even more because you're thinking, all right, I can't out-muscle this now, so I better work on technique. So little bicep is not helping you in jiu-jitsu or in boxing for that matter. All right, functionality. Everyday use, carrying groceries, lifting kids, opening jars, pulling, pushing. Everyday use and functionality affected zero. Not at all. I could do all that. Totally normal. Never have to think about it. It's not even on my mind. Again, if anything, I'm carrying 8 bags of groceries because we're knuckleheads and we got to carry it all in one trip out of the car. I'm more thinking about the uninjured arm, being more careful with that side. That's really it. But grip, supination, nothing. No problem with any of that in the functionality. Imbalance, someone asked about, is there imbalance for size and appearance, cosmetic differences versus functional? Functional difference, pretty much none. Even it's actually almost more functional, more range of motion as nuts. I'm not saying that it's good that it happened, but you have to find the bright side of everything, the upside of everything, being positive about everything. The positive mindset is really what gets you through all this kind of stuff. But there's the injured side. Like, I'll take that for a torn bicep without a surgery compared to the uninjured side. And even from the other side here, it still gets a little peak. Look at it. It's just missing this like 2-inch connection right here, but it's still solid. It still works. It's still functional. It just looks a little off. Listen, I'm not that concerned about the look of my biceps, and I keep the rest of my body in shape and fit and healthy all year round. I stay in shape. I try to stay in shape 12 months of the year. I try to keep abs 12 months of the year. So it's not like I'm out of shape. So one bicep's off, that's fine. I'll make up for it in other places. Fine motor control, coordination, dexterity, zero issues there. Not at all. All right, lessons learned, what you wish you knew, surprises about the body's ability to adapt without surgery. Am I surprised? That's a hard question to answer. Am I surprised about the body's ability to adapt without surgery? I guess I had slight doubts about, like, all right, jiu-jitsu. Will I be able to do jiu-jitsu? Will I be able to do heavy farmer's walk? Will I be able to get back to full sets of like 20 dead hang pull-ups with no bouncing? Maybe like those extremes. Will it be able to go all out in jiu-jitsu or punch all out in sparring? Maybe those I had slight little doubts, but overall in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm going to come back better and stronger without this surgery. I'm going to go against the odds and I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to get just as fit. I'm going to stay in shape the entire time. I'm not going to be down out about it. So I always had belief, but I guess a little extra. It was even a little more surprised about what is capable if you do things the right way, have the right mindset, the right focus, the right positivity, even without the surgery. All right, let's keep rolling. Surprised about the body. Lessons learned. Mindset challenges, staying disciplined, not pushing too soon. Yes, I almost probably waited too long to push. I had a follow-up visit several months later with the surgeon, just a little check-in, and he's telling me, like, basically what I'm saying here. It's like, push as hard. You could push that arm as hard as you want. It can't snap. It's already completely ruptured. It's already healed. The trauma's already healed. You can go all out. Just be smart about it. If it doesn't feel good, if it feels weird, it feels numb, guess what? You slow it down. You're overdoing it. Same thing. If you're overdoing it and the other side's compensating and you're feeling strain in the forearm where that bicep, where you know it attaches, because you see that's where they put the attachment on the surgery, or you're feeling up in the bicep and you know what that feels like now, be smart about it and just modify. Someone asked about things that slowed healing versus things that sped it up. Mindset, again, positivity, faith, focus, belief in yourself, staying active, eating quality food, have a nutritional discipline, That is what helped speed up the injury. What slowed it down was probably, I waited almost too long before going hard. I trained every day, but going hard, I almost waited too long until the surgeon's like, at this point, he said, do whatever you want. Go as hard as you want. There is zero limitations that you have at this point. This was after, I don't remember, 5 months, 6 months. He said, the trauma's already healed. You can't strain it. There's no evidence or cases where going so hard on a torn bicep, that's something compensating. You tear a bicep, or even you tear forearm, or you tear your shoulder or something up here. Zero cases of that happening. So I really don't have anything to worry about. I even almost think there's a less chance of tearing what's up here, the like labrum or whatever, or the insertion point of the bicep at the top by the shoulder, because there's not as much tension pulling it down. So it really can't tear. There were some questions on non-surgical route specific. Why did you choose not to get surgery? And if we get to this point. Right now, for me personally, everyone's different, and some people probably should get surgery. I just had a guy literally today, right before I recorded, he posted on the first video that I did, and he said he's opting not for surgery. He said he went to 3 surgeons, and they all, for his age and his activity level, he's 61. He said he beat the surgeon in an arm wrestling contest, and they told him not to get surgery. That's good. You have a good surgeon when they recommend against surgery, because most doctors are going to recommend for the medication, the drugs, the surgery, all that nonsense that you don't really want to have to deal with. What the doctors and therapists said versus what actually happened. Nothing really on that point. Just maybe the physical therapists need to understand you and your activity level a little more. I maybe wasn't advanced and progressed enough on the physical therapy that I did do, so I had to kind of get a little more aggressive with it because I was able to deal with it. Long-term durability concerns or re-injury risk. Again, can't rip what's already ripped. So on the other side, yes, there are concerns on the other side, so I'm just trying to be smart about it. I'm not expecting the other side to go, but I'm really prepared for anything. You have to be prepared for anything at this point. What about the stigma? Most people hear rupture and assume surgery is mandatory. That is a case-by-case basis. What I just proved about that 61-year-old guy, where 3 surgeons told him don't get surgery, because at that point, the risk of surgery and nerve damage and range of motion and the recovery at his age from surgery, that he'll be able to recover from the trauma without surgery better than the trauma that the surgery is gonna cause him at his age and his fitness level. And he said he hasn't been eating the best and hasn't been staying in tip-top shape, but now this is his motivation to go and do that. So it's actually going to make him probably get in better shape with not getting surgery and dealing with this stuff. And then there's some questions on the lifestyle and mental side. Mental battle, frustration, patience as an athlete and in the fitness world. Not really. I just went hard on everything else. Again, trained hard all the time, ate clean all the time. Like, you go on an Airdyne bike, or whatever it's called nowadays, assault bike, and you go with just your legs, both legs only, or legs and just the good arm. Your heart rate's through the roof, your body's burning. You're going to get in shape. You're going to be able to train as hard as you want. I was boxing with just the left arm only for months. It was like the Michael Jackson boxing class where I had just one glove on. So the frustration and patience, no, you just have to, again, goes back into this, all ties back into the mindset and how you operate as a man and deal with shit and deal with setbacks and how resilient you are and how consistent you are in all your daily disciplines and habits. I stuck to my daily disciplines and habits all the time. Didn't miss any of them. And for my non-negotiables, I do reading every day and writing and journaling and meditating and mindfulness and reflection, connection with the family and kids, hydration, rest, recovery, stretching, rehab, strength, cardio, conditioning, daily disciplines every freaking day. And that really helps make it a lifestyle, no frustrations or impatience or stress. Let's see, advice for others, how to keep your head straight when progress is slow. We just went over that already. It is all in your head. It's the bicep is the least part of this injury. It's an injury more to your mental state than anything else. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Visible difference, bicep peak, shape, we went over that. Well, there's no scar at least, we know that, so I don't have to screw up this. Actually, the surgery would have been right through my no excuses. Sun is kind of going in a different direction. My no excuses tattoo, because that's where they, I guess, attach it to the forearm bone. So I would have had to put a hole right through my no excuses tattoo, so no need for that. Any long-term adaptation strategies, straps, braces, technique, tweaks. Just being smarter. There is no restrictions. Again, there's no restrictions and nothing to really be concerned about long-term with it. Actually, my range of motion in shoulder, have had less shoulder problems since I tore this, less elbow problems. My forearms are stronger than ever. My grip strength is stronger than ever. I actually tested. I have the little digital tester, and my right grip strength has actually improved past the level that my grip strength was before I ever even had the injury. And people say, what would you do differently if you tore the other bicep tomorrow? Let's see. What would I do differently? I don't know if I would do much. If it was recommended and I had the same option to have surgery or not, it was my decision. I'm thinking I would probably go without surgery for all the same reasons as this one, even though then I'd have two of these little dinky biceps, but whatever. I'll keep the abs. I'll just go with no shirt on all the time so I could have abs showing, and that'll overshine the lack of these weird biceps and my chicken legs. Realistic expectations, timeline, functionality, kind of went all over that. Warning, mistakes to avoid during recovery. Don't go too hard. Don't be stupid. Listen to your body. Don't overdo it in the beginning. Yes, be patient, but then know when it's time to ramp it up. But also don't be patient on the rest of your body. Be smart and train your ass off on the rest of your body. Still get a sweat going. I still was going in the sauna all the time, so I was getting that feeling good in the sauna. I was still doing ice baths. I was still doing the cryo stuff. Still training hard. I was doing normal exercise on this other arm for months before this one could do anything. And then I would do single arm, hard dumbbell on here while I did a single arm, real light band just to get range of motion. That was days after I was doing light bands. And then working up to 3-pound dumbbells and 5-pound dumbbells, a slow progress. So just not being stupid, not letting your ego get into it. Realize you're in it for the long game. You needed to recover. You want to be functional. And within a year, I'm pretty sure if there was two versions of me, I actually had a friend that tore his bicep a week before mine or after mine, right around the same time. And I know the recovery progress was a lot longer. The strength is taking a lot longer time to come back. And does it really look any different or any better? Don't know. Will it have any restrictions with the surgery happening? Don't know. We'll see. But I know right now my arm has no restrictions. Again, punching freaking harder. I couldn't believe it. When I really started going back into all out punching. And I really just noticed it recently in the last couple of months. I'm landing better on the knuckles even. It's almost like that was making me land on my wrong knuckles because it was not extending as much. And I'm getting better full extension, better hip rotation, and turning my punch over more. And that's my strong hand, and it's back to being my strong hand. I used to have to rely on my lead, weaker hand as being my strong hand, but my strong hand is back to being my strong hand, and it's now actually even stronger. So there's the 12-month progress. I put some video clips in here for you to see throughout this, so hopefully they'll help you out. I don't know if I'll even be doing any more updates to this because I feel like this is it. And maybe in 2 years, some things will change or I'll have different thoughts on it or there'll be different progress or something to report back. I'll let you know along the way if anything happens. So put the comments down below, any questions you have. And if you had the surgery, didn't have the surgery, what has your recovery process been like? What's your progress been? Put it down there in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Your comments can help other people. So let me know. And in case no one told you yet today, you are freaking awesome. No excuses. So I get asked all the time about biceps. So can I still do bicep curl work? My bicep got smaller. How's the bicep strength? How's the bicep endurance? Really, bicep strength, endurance hardly matters in anything. Not in fighting, not in grappling, not in boxing, almost hardly in weightlifting. But when I do bicep work, if it's an actual working set, like part of the workout, the best way to do it is palms up the whole time. So I'm keeping tension on the muscle the whole time. These are only 25 pounds. I can completely do it totally normal, no problems. If I'm feeling like maybe my elbows are a little sore or this bicep, they're getting a little sore or whatever, I'll just get a little twist. A little bit of a cheat, but it's also a little bit more range of motion in the elbow, in the forearm, but completely slow and controlled, not loosening up the tension at the bottom. That's if I'm working. If I'm doing the biceps as a rehab on a cardio day or something just to get the motion in there, I'll start with a lighter weight. These are only 12 pounds. I'll do both arms together, palms down, twisting up for a count of 1 or 2, and then down for 5 to 6, rotating all the way down 180 degrees to full extension at the bottom. Twisting up and resisting down for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what I'm doing a rehab. So I would do a slow set like that. Then I would drop down onto the side, grab the end of the weight. Same thing, a slow 5-second rep. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the forearm, for the bicep, just to keep it strong. And I'll do this on the injured side and the uninjured side to prevent the uninjured side from getting injured. It's a 5-second release coming around, holding from the ends of the weights, pulling out. So after I did both of those slow with the lighter weight, I'll pick up a slightly heavier weight. This is just on the rehab day, like on a non-lifting strength day. And I'll go here, but look, with a little bit of speed. Because there's times you need to move your hands fast, right? So I'm going a little, still at 180 degrees range of motion, but a little more speed. Not a lot of weight, just like 3 pounds more. These are 15 pounders. And then after that, I'll come and do the same thing seated for the rotation, for the supination, pronation of the wrist, but I'll look fast, just 15 each side. These are all sets of 15. The slow ones were 15 with the 5-6 count negative, and then the fast set is 15, and I would do this on both sides. Because think, there's times when you got to move your hands fast, but also times when you have to squeeze and move them slow. So I'm doing them both for working sets. I'm doing it slow for a rehab set and fast for a rehab set to keep them strong, healthy, and functional. And really the bicep strength doesn't help out on much of these major lifts.